In this podcast, we will be talking about the Aztecs, the Spanish, and their worldviews. The Aztec and the Spanish have very different worldviews. They both became powerful and controlled vast empires. Listen as we explore how their geography, history, religion affected what they did and thought.
The Aztecs left their homeland and led a semi-nomadic life for 200 years. They struggled to find a place to settle because the settlements already in the Valley of Mexico saw them as barbarous and uncultured people. And because of that, they were driven from one place to another. The Aztec people had strong religious beliefs that strongly affected the way they thought, the way they lived, and the way they saw the rest of the world. Their devotion to their gods made it hard when they were told to move before the crops were ready to be harvested. At last, after all the times they had to move and all the hardships they faced, they found the city of Tenochtitlan. They knew it was their destiny because when they got there, they saw an eagle perched on a nopal cactus holding a rattlesnake, which was the sign that had been foretold by their leader, who was told by the gods. The Islamic Empire was an influence to Spain. For almost 700 years, they controlled a huge empire stretching from Asia, northern Africa, and into the Arabian Peninsula. During the Middle Ages, the city of Cordoba in southern Spain was looked upon by all of Europe as a major center of learning and the arts. Spain was also influenced by the legacy left behind by the Muslims about learning, architecture, and design. The legacy they left behind included great libraries containing many books, schools, large collections of classical documents, and more.
The Aztecs rose to power because they got a ruler who could claim direct descendants from Toltec. They made alliances through arranged marriages, which they formed a triple alliance. The Aztecs' culture of war was that the enemy would have an honorable defeat, which then the people who were defeated would have to pay tribute to them and provide labor. The Aztecs had a very effective strategy that was to conquer the weaker societies around the more challenging societies. Then they would attack from all angles. After they conquered the city, they would set up statues of their gods beside the local gods and make them worship their gods. The political structure of the Aztecs was that the most important individuals governed the empire, which was called the Pipiltin. The highest ranking noble in the Pipiltin was the empire. The second in command was the chief of internal affairs. The Taloque ruled major towns, and the Tekun ruled small cities. They made sure that all the records of the Altipit were correct. They managed the marketplace and important resources such as gold, silver, and obsidian. The elders would choose a successor after the empire died.
There were multiple different societies that the Aztec modeled their society after, who were all considered ancient to the Aztec and the other people living in Mexico at the time. One such society were known as the Olmec, who were considered the founding society. The Olmec lived in an area that is now known as Veracruz. Another society was called the Toltec. Their capital city, Tula, was 100 kilometers north of current Mexico City. The Aztec considered their society a refined civilization, and they wrote many poems and stories about the Toltec. Another such society were the Teotihuacan. The place where the Teotihuacan once lived was considered a holy place, or the city of the gods. The Aztec copied the layout of the city with temples and places of importance in the center. The Aztec also took a godly figure from the Teotihuacan. He was called Quetzalcoatl. By combining the ideas and customs from all these different societies, the Aztec created a new culture unique to all those around them. They created this new society which is still inspiring people around the world.
Go.
During the time of the Aztecs, the Spanish went through some interesting changes in democracy and power. The peasants and landowners became exempt from all taxes, and the church's role was to persuade the opinion of the public in favor of the king and queen. The power of the throne also became significantly higher than that of the Spanish parliament's power. These changes helped shape what happened to the Aztecs and how Spain is today.
The Aztecs believed that humans were created by the bones of their ancestors and the blood of their gods. They believed that the blood of humans was the most precious offering they could give to their gods, and that the gods would be satisfied with their sacrifices. The Aztecs considered that those who were sacrificed were great heroes, and Aztecs believed that the gods and the humans worked together to maintain the balance of the universe.